Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Just Do It, all about run, bike, run. Today is Thursday. I'm on my way to the gym. The video today is not all about strength and conditioning for a change. I'm going to delve into the world of recovery and tracking that recovery by my Whoop band. Loads of you out there may already be using Whoop or be aware of it and how it tracks recovery and the benefits you can get out of it. It's a bit Marmite, I think, the Whoop band and what it provides, but I think you've just got to look at what data elements you want to take away from Whoop. Is it useful for you? Is it beneficial? And ignore the bits that you think, oh, that doesn't really fit very well, or actually I don't trust the data. But because I've had illness and injury over the last couple of months, I'm thinking I really need to start maximising my recovery. Right, let's have a look at this here Whoop gadget. So you get it in a box like this. Now this is opened. I've had my Whoop 3-4 years, but I've just had a gap between the account, and I'll come to that on how that works. But you get it in this little box, Gucci box. Inside the box, USB-C charge cable, and then wrapped up inside is the actual Whoop itself in this little gadget, and it gives you all the instructions about how to put it on. And of course, as I said, I've had mine for a number of years now, so it's not like that box, that's just an old box, but there it is, and that's what it looks like. It literally just a band, and you just pull it. Didn't do that very well, and that's what it looks like. All the sensors obviously in the back, and you put it on your wrist, fold it over, click it, and there you go, and that's it. That's what the Whoop band looks like. That's what it looks like when it's all unravelled. Slide it through, and then it just sort of folds back on itself, and if you can see that very well from there, and clicks in, and that's it. So it's quite snug really, it's very light, don't really notice you've got it on, you get used to it. And the other thing I didn't mention in the box is the charge unit, the battery, which is this little gadget here, as you can see, hopefully. So that literally charges, is a little USB-C port. So you charge this and then you slide it onto your Whoop. Like that. And then you wear it. And it charges. So you don't have to take it off. You can also go in the shower with that one as well, but I don't. Yeah. So, happy days. That's the basics. So that's the Whoop band itself. You wear it on there, no display on it at all, and that's because all the data is collected within the Whoop and it transfers it real time into the app, which is on your phone. So if you have your phone anywhere connected by Bluetooth, and that's the way it's transferred by Bluetooth, it continually updates the app. If you're wearing it away and you haven't got your phone with you nearby connected, it stores all the data up, and as soon as it auto connects to your phone and the Whoop app, it updates pretty quickly and the data starts flowing into the app. Now the app, let's take a look at the app, because that's where all the magic happens. Now I quite like the app, the way it's structured, and I've noticed over the years, because I first got Whoop 2021, I had it for about 18 months, and then I decided not to renew my account. Talking of the account, you pay a monthly fee for access to the data, the recording, and the app records it and updates it on the master. You've also got a community to it, so you can link up with other Whoop users form groups, see the data between you and share and the like. But I don't really do that very much. There's enough sharing and social media out there. We're overloaded, aren't we? But the app itself, for me, is about the data and how it can be used for recovery for me. So let's have a look at the app and how it's structured. Let's have a look at the app in detail. Basically, you've got a menu, top level menu for 4 data elements. There's an overview, which gives you a mixture of all sorts of data and how it all links together. But the main aspects that feed into that overview and form part of the other headings is sleep, recovery, and strain. So beneath each one of these 4 headers of overview, sleep, recovery, and strain, you've got more data, more tiers, and it sort of filters down and cascades, and you drill down into the different elements and the data that sits within them. So let's drill down into each one of those headings. First of all, overview. Right, as you can see, the overview is just what it says. It gives you an idea of your recovery, your strain, your sleep performance, and your HRV as a quick snapshot. And then it goes down into my day, and the sleep, and the spin is the activity that I did. And you can drill down into each one of those and get more data. You can customize that as well to show what you want on your overview, the important factors. I do like my sleep, I do like the strain, and I like the HRV. HRV being probably the most important to folks, heart rate variability, because that will give you that indicative sort of idea of, am I recovered or am I fatigued, which might give you some direction into what level of intensity you want to train at. Right, let's drill down a bit further. As you scroll down, my day, you can go into your sleep that you've had. You can start an activity, even add an activity. And tonight's sleep, this is a good one because it gives you a bit of a direction about what level of sleep you want to get in terms of period. For example, this one, it's recommending me to go to bed at 23:47, and I've got an alarm set at 8:30. You can take that alarm off if you like, and it will give you an ideal sleep period to aim for if you're just going to wake up naturally. But if you've got an alarm on the Whoop, that's just a light vibration on your wrist, and you just tap it twice. Well done, alarm works. There's a journal element, and you can have free text in that. There's also some selections you can make in terms of what you've done during the day, how much water you've drank, how much caffeine you've had, loads of different activities and things that you can put in there that gives you a journal about what may have affected the following day's recovery. And if you scroll down a bit further, you can drill down into HRV, sleep performance, steps you've taken, and you can actually see what time of day and how all that factors in. There's a graph of HRV you can go into, which is quite interesting. And lastly, on scrolling down is a wee graph about strain and recovery and how they compare, which is quite good, isn't it? So if you've had a stressful day, and you can gauge what your recovery was after the stress. You can also go down into sleep performance and the metrics that go within that. I won't go into it here. And heart rate availability here as we go down into the next tier, as you can see my little graph. So I only started back with Whoop, didn't I, sort of second week of December, so I haven't got much data here. The more data you have, the more accurate it calculates, because it sort of acknowledges your baseline better. So when you have stress and strain, it'll measure against that baseline, so it needs a level of data over a longer period of time. It's intelligent, as you like, and you can see my graph for HRV is actually growing slightly up. It's on a good trend, and that's because I was poorly. I was ill when I started back with Whoop, so I would expect that. I would expect my baseline HRV to be higher than it was in the first week because I was quite ill. So I need a good month's worth of data here, I think, before I know roughly where my sort of HRV baseline should be. Right, on to recovery. As you can see on this shot here, I'm recovered to 74%, so I'm in the green. When you see the green, well, hey, good to go. And the higher it goes, obviously, the more recovered you should be. Now, if you're a lower recovery rate, it all goes to amber, and then as it gets worse and worse, you'll have a percentage and it will be red, which glares at you, and you should perhaps taper your training a bit during that day. And it also gives you a bit of a blurb about your level that you're at. So here it's telling me I'm primed to perform because I'm in the green. HRV, resting heart rate and sleep performance indicate your body's peaking physically and primed to take on strain. Let's go. Very motivating. As we scroll down, you can see my HRV was 49, resting heart rate was 49. So obviously these two metrics are good for me. I like these two, HRV and resting heart rate. So we want the HRV to go up and the resting heart rate to come down, ideally. And that's what it seems to be doing when I'm well rested. And there it is. There's my graph, more detailed graph of HRV going up and the resting heart rate coming down. So that shows I'm in a good place. And the idea is, as you get more data, like I said, it becomes more accurate for your baseline. So if you're fighting illness, for example, your resting heart rate may be higher and your heart rate variability may well be lower, in which case you get some indication that your body's fighting something and you can adjust your training accordingly. On to sleep. This is the thing I like most about Whoop, because for me personally, I think this affects recovery. You know, it's the most impact. It's the most beneficial thing you can do is to get your sleep sorted out. And basically, I don't think I was doing it. So as I said, focus on recovery. So sleep. This little gadget Whoop holds me to account. And as we can see on this particular day, my sleep performance was 91%. I got 7 hours 43 of sleep. Well, actually, I needed 8 hours 32. But that measurement is taken from when it senses you're asleep. So it won't actually be, you know, the minute you lay down in bed and the minute you actually got out of bed. It will be how Whoop measures it from the band. And it gives you a bit of a blurb about the actual sleep you had. So if we scroll down, it gives you your time in bed. So there's my last week time in bed. It's quite important actually to try and get your good rhythm and regular sort of timetable of going to bed around the same time, getting up around the same time. Apparently that is really, really important. And it does break down the type of sleep you have. Restorative sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep. So it does all that as well and shows you which, how you slept basically, the quality of sleep that you get. And there's my sleep performance over the last week. And a wee graph about hours of sleep versus need. So hopefully those two lines should be sort of aligned. But yeah, it's a bit of a gap. Closer they are, the better it is. And lastly, some bits you could drill down to here: time in bed, sleep consistency, restorative sleep, sleep depth. Sleep depth is a good one because that will be sleep depth for the day, but it also measures your sleep depth accumulative, which is really, really useful. So if we drill down here, it's time in bed. I'm not doing too bad. Obviously, we'd like a nice sort of parallel train track for your time in bed each night to get it aligned. And here we have the consistency of my sleep, which is the quality of sleep. I do like those all the same as well. And here we have the restorative sleep again, which shows the averages for the month. And here we go. This is the one I quite like, as it's coming up with my sleep debt, how it's accumulated sleep debt. So you know, you could get to the end of the week and you could show, wow, I've lost 2 hours sleep during that week. It's going to be very difficult to pull that back, but you can sort of drill down and see how you can draw that back and monitor it. So obviously it's a long game, isn't it? It's like training. Consistency, sleep is the same. Consistent sleep is going to be most beneficial.
Right, on the way back from the gym, that's a bit of strength and conditioning, some plyometrics, guarding my dodgy calves, of course. So what did you think about the Whoop band? Is it for you? What other devices do you use? There's other watches out there, loads of gadgets, all do different things.